Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I am on what could very well be the ideal cruising couple's boat. It's the True North 34 Outboard Express. So many things to like about this, starting with a wonderful gathering space in the cockpit, a salon that's comfortable and converts into a berth with a galley right across, plenty of room for sleeping up forward. It's all going to come together as I do my full features inspection. While we're sitting at the dock after a long day's cruise, this is probably going to be the most popular spot on the boat right here, the cockpit. It measures 6 feet 2 inches by 4 feet 5 inches. Bulwarks come up 24 inches and there are 9-inch speakers to the multi-zone Fusion stereo. Got an aft-facing bench seat and then a flip-out bench seat at the transom. At 44 inches wide, this one is double wide and it includes flip-down armrests. The cushion is velcroed in position and storage is accessed underneath. And look at this, there's a teak base. They didn't have to do that. The aft transom seat is 36 inches wide. If we flip it out of the way, we open up even more space in this cockpit.
With the transom seat up, there's 27 square feet in this cockpit that can easily fit a couple of fold-up director's chairs and a table for evening cocktails and snacks.
Beverage holders are conveniently located. We can also add cushions to the top of the steps to the side decks to add even more seating. Up above, there's a spreader light, and this whole area can be protected by the extendable SureShade awning. We've got a door to the swim platforms. It opens and gives us access to a 14-inch wide walkthrough. There's a swim platform over to the starboard side, staple rail just ahead of the engines, and the swim platform to the port hand side has a hidden boarding ladder. As we move inside, there are 3 choices for this aft bulkhead. We can go with a completely open arrangement, isinglass, or this hardback, which I really like. Comes with this door that latches open against the step, and then opening aft windows. To really bring the outside in. Great visibility out these side windows, and they're all custom made. Notice that there's a lower panel that adds to the visibility, and the forward sections are opening, and they're large opening windows. So we've got great ventilation, great visibility. Everything's just really coming together. But let's look at some of the individual features here, starting with this settee over on the port hand side. The 2 legs to this settee measure 76 inches and 64 inches. There's cavernous storage under all the seats, including drawer storage under the forward seat. And we can rotate the observer seat around to join the crowd just behind. The table, solid teak, beautifully finished with great inlay work. And it's on a high-low pedestal, so we can drop this down, make it into a berth for those guests that just won't leave. All of this is on an elevated platform 9 inches off the deck, and the openness continues by the 6-foot 7-inch overhead clearance. Now, in addition to providing so much ventilation by these large opening windows, we also have 2 smaller hatches that open from the front so they scoop air into the area, especially onto the 2 seats. And there's an overhead hatch right here that slides back, really getting a lot of air into this area. To the starboard side, there's a galley that includes a covered sink. The cover is reversible and there's a cutting surface underneath that. This gets dedicated storage right behind the helm seat, along with the cover over the single burner electric cooktop. The countertop is Corian. Beverage holders are just behind the cooktop. And then we've got underneath a refrigerated drawer, storage, and more storage, along with a microwave. I appreciate that all the outlets are trimmed in teak and that they have USB connectivity as well. And a 32-inch flat-screen TV drops down on an electric lift. I really have to appreciate the beautiful teak trim work that True North does and fiberglass overhead that's low maintenance.
You don't see many overheads like this, and it's one of the details I like most because it replicates the white painted overheads that were popular in wooden cabin cruisers this size, built in the 1920s and 30s. You'll notice that there's a lot of teak in this cabin. The deck is teak and holly, all of the mullions and window frames are teak, and the doors are teak. The helm has a teak dash, and the hatch to the stateroom is solid teak with louvers. It all works together to make this a cozy cabin for a couple that recaptures a bit of the golden years of yachting. I can't move forward without commenting about the companion seat that's identical to the captain's seat. This makes the 34 a couple's cruising boat, and I can just imagine doing the Great Loop in her.
Now let's go see where our cruising couple will be spending the night. The cabin is accessed from a companionway, center mounted right alongside the helm. Let's take a look. First of all, I have to give a shout out to the woodworking department at True North. They really have their act together. I see no uneven seams, no mismatched joinery work, just perfect work all throughout. It's really easy on the eyes to see this. As far as roominess goes, headroom 5 feet 10 inches at the entrance, which gives us between 3 feet 9 inches and 2 feet 11 inches over the berth. The berth is 80 inches by 65 inches, actually bigger than I expected it to be. There are 3 opening ports plus an overhead hatch, all adding natural light plus ventilation. There's storage in drawers underneath the berth, underneath the stairs, and in a locker to the starboard side.
Once again, by making the bulkheads and doors teak and the deck teak and holly, to say nothing of the teak battens on the hull sides, True North has again created a cozy, yachty space for a couple.
The head compartment is to the port hand side. Features a opening port light for ventilation. There's also an air conditioning vent in there as well. Overhead clearance 5 feet 10 inches leaves us 3 feet 9 inches of sitting headroom, and it's a wet head. I really have to say that the couple's cruising lifestyle is extremely appealing to me, and to have a boat that makes it so capable and easy to do and comfortable to be on is a great combination, and that's all coming together in the True North 34 Outboard Express. And that's my full features inspection. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.